Physical practice. Physical practice is completely necessary when there's the intention to learn something new. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried picking up a guitar. Having never played the guitar, you pick up a guitar, or you go to a boxing club, or kickboxing, whatever, or any kind of physical activity that you've never done before. Movement is knowledge. Movement itself is knowledge. So, again, like the guitar, you pick up a guitar, having never played it before, mentally, the intention is there to move your fingers and play that guitar, but for some reason your fingers just don't want to go, because, again, movement is knowledge, and you haven't learnt that movement yet with the fingers. You understand what I'm saying? So, in that sense, a repetitive... That's just an example, obviously, but, in that sense, a physical practice, repetitive physical practice is completely necessary. But spiritual practice, a spiritual practice is a complete waste of time. If you've set yourself an achievement, if you carry out spiritual practice in order just to feel good, then fine, it's all well and good. But when there's an achievement to be made with spiritual practice, it's a waste of time. And I'll go into this. Look, generally speaking, spiritual practice in itself, if there's spiritual practice, generally speaking, that will be practicing with the aim to be completely present, as some people call it, or completely at one, completely here and now, whatever you want to call it. That's what general spiritual practice is, to achieve complete presence, complete here and now, complete to achieve being completely at one with the world, or in other words, to be completely thoughtless. Your mind is completely clear. Clarity. That's what presence. That's what spiritual practice generally is. It's the intention to achieve clarity, not a single thought in the mind. Okay. So look, with that being said, I don't know whether you've ever noticed this, but when the mind is occupied, or your mind, however you want to say it, when your mind is occupied, you cannot give complete attention. Mobile phones. You're watching this video on a mobile phone now, more than likely. Everybody's on their mobile phones nowadays. People are walking down the street on their phones. Everybody's on their mobile phone. Now, if someone were to walk in the room now, you're watching my video, you're watching this here video right now. If someone were to walk in the room where you are and engage and start talking to you, start a conversation with you, if you were to carry on watching my video, you're only then giving that person your second-hand attention, because you're still listening to my video, watching my video, but you're listening to them at the same time. So you're not giving that person your complete attention. Ideally, you'd need to put the phone down, turn the video off, put the phone down, and give them your attention. You understand what I'm saying? Because otherwise it's always second-hand attention. When the mind is occupied, you cannot give complete attention. And it doesn't have to be a mobile phone or something physical. Thoughts. Our mind is occupied by thought or thoughts all the time. I don't know whether you've noticed this. We're always thinking. Thought is always in operation as we go about our daily life. I don't know whether you've ever tried to have a conversation with someone, or maybe this scenario, you can relate to this scenario. You'll be with your friend or somebody having a conversation, and at some point in that conversation your friend says, hello, are you actually listening to me or what? And you say, oh, sorry, yeah, I'm really sorry. I was just thinking about what it is I've got to do later on tonight. I mustn't forget. I was just thinking about that. Sorry. Anyway, what was you saying? You know, your mind was occupied by your thoughts of what it is you've got to do later on. So you wasn't giving your complete attention. You understand? Because your mind was occupied. So in other words, you cannot attention. In other words, at one. You cannot be completely at one with your friend, completely here and now, completely present, whatever you want to call it, with your friend. All the time your mind is occupied, whether it be by a mobile phone, which was just an example, or your thoughts. When your mind is occupied, you cannot give your complete attention to your friend, for example, during that conversation. Or again, in other words, you cannot be completely present with your friend when the mind is occupied. So look at it like this. Spiritual practice. When your mind is occupied with spiritual practice, it's the practice itself that is preventing you from being at one. Do you understand that? Or in other words, if spiritual practice is undertaken with the aim to be completely at one, completely present, completely here and now, clarity, not a single thought in your mind, if that is the intention of your spiritual practice, all the time your mind is occupied by that practice. It's the practice itself that is keeping you from being at one, present, totally here and now. Do you understand?